Hello folks, welcome. This is Spoon TV Live. We're coming to you from somewhere along the GSA Road community called Kota Field, where it is reported that several persons have died after attending a party last night. So we're coming to where exactly the event is said to have happened to speak to those around as to what exactly happened. We just passed the ambulances that were carrying what we presume to be bodies. Now you can see the place is overcrowded. People are coming, converging on this spot to know exactly what had happened. So just quickly, we've been told, we gathered information from our sources that there was a party, and those who attended the party, 7 persons had died. What information we get in is so not clear, but we want to speak to those who were there, and we'll also bring you up to speed with what happened. We just arrived in here. This is where the incident allegedly happened. Okay. Hello. So folks, we here, and we want to get up with what is happening.
Everybody's still sleeping, so he left. But it caused us to go to my auntie in the house and people started to move forward. Everybody laying down in the room, then shaking.
They didn't have
Cakes there. I think about 2 or 3 cakes there. Flavor should be about 6 or 7 or 8 years in that range, 6 to 8. Saber 2 should be like from 5 to 7 in that range. Yeah, that's the 2 kids I already know, but I don't know if another person 2 are having kids.
So in total, how many persons?
8.
8.
Yeah,
8 persons.
Yeah, I live upstairs. This is our apartment. Our house is for you're renting for us.
Did you have people from outside who came yesterday to celebrate with the family? I mean, family relatives who don't live here as well, but they came also. Who are amongst the 8?
Yeah, she had her in-laws there too. Her husband in the state brothers. Yes.
So, the age of the bride?
That was my first time seeing them yesterday, and we didn't interact. Yes.
So all of the 8, were they the people that are living downstairs?
No, the people who are living downstairs was Sis Leslie, Favor, Kwawu, Saber, and the 4 I know usually live here. But then Sis Leslie mother was here too. Okay. So the balance 3 now, I don't know.
How many men and how many females?
Maybe if I may be a second, it might be 2 and the female be 6.
6 females?
Yeah, all 3 men, 3 men and 5 females. That's the 5 females I call Saber, Kwawu, and Sis Leslie, and her mother and Favor.
How long have they lived here? Are you aware?
Well, they've been here for a very long time, maybe like more than 3 or 4 years. They've been here for a very long time.
Did you hear anything like a struggle before?
No, we didn't get anything like that. Anything. We didn't get any signs that will say, oh, someone is sweating and we should go there. But usually for me, I always come in once I'm in the middle of the night.
Well, when did the music, when did all of the partying, everything stop?
From minutes to 10.
Last night?
Last night, from minutes to 10. The music down play. So they try packing everything in there. So by 10 something, everyone was in there. Because she and myself went to go on last night. She said she was going to carry me out. So I kept, like embarrassing her. Saying that, are we not going? She said, we'll go. Are we not going? We'll go. But then when I went upstairs to eat, when I came out, I met it door last night. Maybe she's sleeping. Let me let her rest.
Do they normally keep the generator in?
No, that was her first time putting generator on in your house.
So the generator was indoor at where exactly they were having the party?
No, the generator was at the pantry, facing the pantry window where it's just unfortunate because the pantry had a window. Even though it's a sealed place, but there's a smoke can go out. The window was open as well. Yeah, it was open.
But did you hear anything like forced entry? As you say, you didn't hear any noise. But I know it's not really your business to look at what people doing at parties. But did you see anything out of the ordinary?
Yeah, it's my business because if anything goes wrong, if like my house, I'll be held responsible. So anything that goes wrong is my business.
Did you see anything wrong?
No, they were not all in one room. About 3 persons were in the living room, and they were not very small. Like in the room.
Is it the first time? Is it the first time?
This is the very first time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Your name, sir?
I'm Jefferson Lackey Jr.
Jefferson Lackey Jr. All right, so you're speaking to Spoon TV. We'd like to talk to you privately if you don't mind, because we just joined this interview late. So we just want you to take us back on exactly what happened? We passed ambulances and with a pickup truck as well with what we presume to be bodies on board. So you want to tell us what exactly happened? First, the name of this area as well.
Oh, this is Kota Field community behind the market for sure.
Okay. So kindly run us through what happened that led to several people being pronounced dead allegedly.
It all happened in days. She graduated yesterday, having her party.
Who graduated, please?
Sis Nessie, the last daughter for the mother.
Okay.
And then family members were here. Place were Jam Pack, everyone came to embrace the occasion. So, but then after the party, she decided to dance out all the music and then try to get some rest. But then, pack all the things, went inside, closed the door, see the window. So unfortunately, this morning by 10, then there's a because she usually get up at 5 in the morning. Sometimes even when road try to pass around, she fall. She will say you up here, I say, okay, come down. I will immediately come downstairs. Sometimes I like, even last night, I went to bed, I think 2. I went to bed 2 last night, I left outside whole of last night. Sometimes I come down the stairs any hour. And you know, to carry on some research on the paper going on, maybe you know someone trying, yes, I do all that, but we didn't hear sound like someone fighting. We didn't see nothing screams, nothing at all. Nothing. So the smoke, I know I should say the smoke killed them.
No, you can presume because there's no autopsy, so you can presume.
So the generator was within the house.
When you say within, what do you mean? I want you to give us a vivid description.
That's why I said within, because the generator is in the kitchen, in the house.
And what's the distance from the kitchen to their room?
The distance, if I'm assuming the distance from the kitchen is just like, even the room door was sealed off, but the distance from the kitchen, okay, the distance from the living room to the kitchen is like assuming from here to that thing round.
Okay. That's thing round there.
Yeah, that's the distance from the kitchen to the living room. And the living room half in. Even the room half in. Yeah.
So how many persons?
8 persons.
Were there kids among?
Yeah, kids were among, even her people, daughter 2 were there.
So they took their bodies as well?
Yeah.
So out of the 8, you saying 2 kids?
Yeah, 2 small children, one in the age of 16, 17, and then her mother, plus the 3 boys of brother-in-law.
Those 3 guys do not live here as well?
No, they don't live here.
Okay, sir. All right, thank you. We want to talk to you a bit, but we want to see where this happened. Okay. So, folks, we are here at the Kota Field community. This is the house where this happened. You can see latex gloves as well. This is where the party happened, and this is where the generator was.
There's a generator.
This is the generator here.
We're in the kitchen. Let's try to make our way out or in this place.
Okay.
And she was lying right here.
This room is dark.
This dark.
This is dark.
2 persons were discovered right here.
Can I wait a bit to see if I can get my light on? So folks, it's really dark in here. So folks, we apologize for that. That's due to network connectivity. So we were being walked around the scene by the CSD commander of the depot. He was showing us where bodies were retrieved, and 8 persons have been pronounced dead after attending a graduation party. And he said 1 person, a female, was found lying here, a male in the chair there, another male on the bed here, and another female was found here. The CSD commander also took us to the kitchen where this generator is said to have been on and put here to provide electricity for the graduation party. This is the set that was used for the party, and within the 8 casualties, 1 teenager and another young kid between the ages of 8 to 9. So the place still does smell of smoke, but unless autopsy results are back before the actual cause can be established, the actual cause of death, but it does smell like smoke, and family and friends are crying already. This is tragic. This is sad. This is the Kota Field community. After a joyous occasion which was a graduation on yesterday. 8 persons lost their lives, we've been told by the CSD commander. Officer, if you don't mind, we want to talk to you either off camera or on camera. You can choose which one. We want to speak to you, sir. Tearful scene. No problem. I wouldn't show you on the camera. So, sir, at what time were you called to respond to this scene?
Yeah, let me check my record here.
Okay, so he's checking his record. Teary eyes, wailing, crying, that's all has been greeted by this scene. Latex gloves still around, presumably used to carry the remains of those people.
I received a call around about 10:55 a.m. that there was a house in the Kota Field community here where several occupants of that house were discovered unconscious. So we as preserve the scene so we can maybe check to know what happened, what's going on. But we came and saw a very terrible scene where we saw people in various positions lying unconscious. Some in the living room, some in the hallway of the house.
How many persons did you find lying dead, sir?
So far, we discovered about 8 persons in number, 6 female and 2 male. So far.
How many kids?
Yeah, we heard about a little girl that was also taken. 3 kids, 3 kids so far. 3 kids so far.
So 3 kids amongst the 8.
What has the first responder told you about so far? The doctors,
No, we have not gotten any information or later on we'll be proceeding at the hospital where
where have they been taken?
according to information they were taken at ELW hospital. So the investigation team will be going there later on to ascertain further.
What's your name, sir, again?
I'm Rogers of the CSD commander of St. Ido. My name is Detective Bwana Aaron Rogers. I'm the CSD commander of St. Ido 2.
Thank you, sir. The CSD commander of Zone 8, Depot 2. So, we cannot tell you the actual cause of death, but presumably others are saying the generator was left on and pointing to carbon monoxide poisoning. But as I said, we cannot tell you what exactly the cause of death is, but what we can confirm to you is that 8 persons have died in this very apartment. Amongst the 8, 3 kids, including a lady who had just graduated from the University of Liberia. A happy day yesterday should have been, and around 10 p.m., according to an eyewitness, it all went quiet in this house. We passed by ambulances and a pickup truck carrying the remains of those victims. This is Spoon TV, and we're here in the Kota Field community, where this entire community and the entire nation is shocked by the news of 8 people dying after a night of party. We remain here to get more information for you. Confirmed information that we can tell you coming from the CSD commander. 8 bodies were retrieved from this scene, were kids, and 5 adults. So we'll just take you around a bit. The graduate amongst the victims, her mother as well among the victims, including a young daughter of the graduate as well. This is the back of the house. This is the kitchen window where the generator was said to have been placed. The doors of this house now locked. community dwellers, onlookers, still can't fathom how did such a tragic incident happen. That is the question being asked. How did it happen? Others are pointing to poison. Others are pointing to carbon monoxide poisoning as well. Others are pointing to witchcraft activities. This is the Kota Field community just behind the Samuel Kayando Sports Complex. Kota Field community just behind the Samuel Kayando Sports Complex. If you know the right to play field, it's the road straight up ahead. The community is called Kota Field Community. The bodies, we were told by the CSD commander, were taken to the ELWA hospital. Neighbors are crying, family members crying as well. Community dwellers are shocked. Eight victims, including 2 children and a graduate of the University of Liberia who was having a graduation party. The cause of death of the victims still being speculated. The scene of the incident. Also, we were walked around by the CSD commander, Zone 8, Depot 2. He showed us spots where bodies were recovered. A generator is said to have been switched on and was being operated during the time of the party. But others are not looking at carbon monoxide poisoning. They're pointing to the fact that, and speculating that probably the food or something at the party was tempered with. But those are still speculations and theories. The door of the apartment is locked. All now onlookers can do is to peep through the window. So Kota Field community is just behind the Samuel Kayando Sports Complex. After you've passed the right to play field and the vocational school, it's just the community ahead. You use the dirt road and you in Kota Field community. According to an eyewitness, we did speak to the guy there also being interviewed. He told us that the graduate, who's now deceased, was an early riser, that she always woke up early. And it was surprising to them that after having a graduation party, as late as 9 a.m., she wasn't up to start cleaning the house. There are other occupants of the apartment on top, and they occupied the apartment down below. And so when they went to knock on her door, only to see that there were people lying there not responding at all. So they then called the police. The police CSD commander told us they responded to this call around 10:53 a.m. And when they arrived on the scene, they saw several lifeless bodies, 8 to be precise. And those bodies were taken to the mortuary there at the ELW hospital. The officer did not tell us whether or not the generator was on, because the eyewitness we did speak to said the generator was turned off at around 10 p.m. Whether the generator went off by itself or it was switched off by those having a party, he couldn't say because they were not in the house to tell us. But crime scene investigators from the LNP, they also coming. We want to remain here. Pictures have been taken. We want to remain here and see the preliminary work being done by the crime scene investigators. But what I can tell you for sure is when I did enter the house where the 8 bodies were retrieved, it smelled of smoke. That is something I can tell you for sure. It smelled, and it still does smell of smoke. But the cause of death has not yet been said after an autopsy. So we cannot say it was due to carbon monoxide poisoning. The CSD commander as well was alluding to that, pointing probably to carbon monoxide poisoning. But I can tell you for sure the house, inside of the house, smelled of smoke. The scene is being cleared and investigators are taking notes. After graduating from the University of Liberia on yesterday, having a party on yesterday, only to be discovered dead. Sis Nancy, her daughter, and her mother as well amongst those whose bodies were recovered. Okay.
Do something, eh?
Oh, you want to rope the place?
The group go all the way down.
Okay. All right. So the LNP officers, the crime scene investigators are trying to tip up the place. So we just want to remain here and watch them work. The young, the old, they are standing. That is the house where it all happened. This is a generator room, and many are wondering, there is a generator here as well. Why didn't they use that? But it said this generator room belongs to this other apartment here, and it's not for this apartment. That is why they had the generator in their house. But this generator room is for this generator room here is for this apartment.
Come back. We know that area, please. You want to do something, I want to say I'll leave this one. Please, yeah? So you go stay on outside there, no problem.
The LNP crime scene investigators are now trying to collect evidence from the crime scene. They are interviewing one of the eyewitnesses there. So once again, out of the 8 people who died, the graduate only identified as Sis Nancy. Her daughter said to be between the ages of 7 to 9. Another teenager said to be between the ages of 14 to 16. And her mother as well, according to the CSD commander of Zone 8, Depot 2, confirming that indeed 8 people were amongst those who died. Their voter cards are being used to get their ages as well. Crime scene photographs being taken there by the forensic photographer of the LNP. According to the CSD commander, he also said there were adult males as well forming part of the 8. So after all of their preliminary works, we will then again get the numbers again from them. A mother, a grandmother, and a daughter amongst those who died. The fire service team just arriving from the Liberia National Fire Service. The fire service team are here to go and assess the generator as to whether there was anything else done here. The apartment door now being opened for the CSI team from the LNP to do their forensic work. Family members, community dwellers are still wailing. An entire community is shocked as of the news that 8 persons had died inside this house. The CSI team making their way in the house. So there is still a lot of speculation floating surrounding how did the 8 people meet their deaths. And I can tell you for sure from being inside of that house, it does smell of smoke. But in the absence of an official autopsy report, the cause of death of those 8 individuals, including 2 children, it still remains unknown. Investigators are making their way in the house where it all happened. Bulk of those who were discovered dead were found in the living room, where there is a mattress still there. According to the CSD commander, 1 deceased male was lying on the mattress, another was slumped in a chair. One family member is being asked to enter as well. The young, the old, they are all still crying. Alright, folks, we want to attempt and see whether or not we'll be given access. There is no harm in trying. See if I have to wear a face mask and see if we will be allowed entry. Just a try. If it works, then that is that. Yeah. Spoon TV, Spoon FM and TV. Okay, that worked. We've been allowed. So this is the house, the inside. Statements have been taken. Two-bedroom apartment.
According to the sources, the generator stepped on and went off by itself.
We are following the fire service team. That is the generator that was allegedly left on the principal occupant who graduated from the University of Liberia, one Nancy Miller.
You switch it up?
Yeah, I see, yeah.
So that here we were sitting right.
Right there, according to them.
And it still remain there.
Color by itself. The color by itself or the two color off?
According to them, according to one of the boys said it went off one night. Yeah. It went off by itself.
By itself.
Yeah. So it slept.
So folks, we're still here. We apologize for the break in transmission. So we've been told the DJ did not sleep yet. So
Yeah, that's 6 days right now. That's 6 days.
So the water was here. You part of the family?
Yeah. Wait, did he sleep?
the names of the victims. The names of the victims are being taken. So the names, some of the names of the victims: 6 females and 2 males. So
Nancy Miller,
Nancy Miller,
Favor Johnson,
Favor Johnson,
Seba Parker,
Favor Parker,
Angel Miller,
Angel Miller,
Ya Miller,
Ya Miller,
Vanny G. Kamara.
and Fanny G. Kamara. Those are the 6 initial names that you know. Okay. These belongings.
Those came from Banga Bon Country. People came from Bon Country.
So people came from Bon County, we've been told. So these are allegedly belongings of those who came from Bon County to help celebrate the graduation party of one of the deceased, Nancy Miller, who is the primary occupant of this apartment, or who was the primary occupant of this apartment. That is a study table of one of the victims, her daughter, who also lost her life. The names of the victims: Nancy Miller, who graduated from the University of Liberia; Favor Johnson; Seba Kandaka; Seba Paka; Angel Miller; Ya Miller; Vanny G. Kamara, and another person identified as Dolo. So the deceased, 6 females and 2 males. So folks, the crime scene investigators plus men from the Liberia National Fire Service, they're still going around the scene of the incident. We have to leave it as it is to find and gather preliminary forensic evidence as well. Community dwellers are still shocked they're still crying. Others are wanting to get an opportunity just to peep in. The bodies of the 8 victims have been deposited at the ELWA hospital. This is where we leave it. Thank you for watching. The cause of death is still unknown, though speculations around carbon monoxide poisoning is lingering, as well as I listened in as one of the family members asked the CSI team to also take samples of the food and water that was served at the party. So until the actual cause of death of those 8 individuals can be established, speculations will linger on. But one thing that is for sure, this house is forever scarred. This house is forever having a history that it was in this house on a fateful Wednesday night. 8 persons died at a party. My name is Diamond Slanger. Thank you so much for watching. We'll leave you with scenes from this very, very unfortunate incident. So this happened in the Kota Field community that is between the GSA Road and the SKD Sports Complex. If you use the SKD Sports Complex Road, you have to pass by the stadium, you pass the vocational school, and you make your way to Kota Field community.